Well, good evening, and welcome to Table Talk with the Diva. I am Arthur Pierre Collins, the fabulous Diva. Excited and delighted to have you at the platform this evening. Thank you so much for joining. I need you to grab a seat, pull it up at the chair. You don't want to miss this amazing interview. I have a phenomenal guest on, and he's amazing. He's powerful. He's very influential, and he is my coach. And to say the least, he is a father, a husband, a just so many so many things. He wears so many hats. He's a phenomenal speaker. He's an amazing coach. And I really, 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 really want you to tune in. I need you to grab your seats, tag a girlfriend, tag a father, a brother, anyone you know that is about to be a father, that may be a father, that is a father and not father away. I need you to get him on tonight. Thank you so much for joining Table Talk, and we will be starting momentarily. Well, we're moving along, so let's start off with a little. Um, let's start off with an icebreaker here. So, what we're going to talk about this evening, really quickly, before the coach gets on, let's give him a few more moments. But we have a thing we call staying in the know. And so I'm excited about what is happening in jubilant, joyful June. And I hope you are. June represents joy. And so I am full of joy, and I pray that you are. It is so important that we express joy in everything that we go through. And so when we're going through, we never just go through it, but we grow through it. And so that's what you've got to know this evening. No matter what you're facing, no matter the obstacles may come your way, make sure that you are growing through it. And that's without a doubt. So I am so excited, and we are going to get the coach on. And so he is here. He is here. So let's pull him up. I am so excited. So excited. So excited. Let's add him to the stream. I got my coach on, y'all. Okay. Add him. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good
Awesome.
evening,
Great.
Diva with the Destiny. How are you?
I am doing outstanding. I'm so fabulous. I got my coach on. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. Thank you so
Well,
much for joining.
listen, I'm delighted, ignited, and excited to be here. Look, we must be fathers, not father. You see, I'm representing tonight.
Yes, sir.
Representing, yes, we must be fathers, not father. Listen, can you all hear me?
I can hear you well, really well.
How's my how's my picture?
I think your picture is well, and we are live, and they're excited to hear from you this evening.
Well,
And
listen, I know we live. I'm all the way live. I'm telling you, I'm all the way live. Your listening audience, I want to tell your listening audience, GOODJOB, good job, good job. I'm excited to be here with author Pierre Collins. The P is for purposeful, the I is for innovator, the E is for excellent, the R is for regal, the R is for resilient, the A is for ambitious. Her last name is Collins. The C is for creative. Come on now. I said the C is for creative. The O is for optimistic. The L is for loving. The L is for leader. The I is for inspiring. The N is for noble. And the S is for servant leader. I'm here with the Diva with the Destiny on Table Talk. What's up? Yes.
you guys better be ready. I am telling you this evening, fasten your seatbelts because this man of God, mighty man of God, is a father, a husband. Oh my God, of an amazing son, a beautiful queen. He wears so many hats. And coach, I am so proud and honored to be coached by you, to be trained by you. I can't begin to say how grateful and humble I am. First of all, just to have you on the platform. And it's just a great opportunity to have you here because the podcast thus far it's blowing my mind. And my family's saying, like, girl, what is happening to you? What's going on? You just doing the thing. And I said, when I tell you the coach that sets me ablaze and just challenges us and stretches us, it's such an humble experience just to be under your leadership. So I want to say thank you again.
Well, I want to thank you for inviting me to your platform. It has been an honor to coach you. It's been an honor to watch you grow, glow, and go for the masses. And anyone who is looking for a women's empowerment speaker, look no further than author Pierre Collins. She will empower, not devour. She will motivate, stimulate, educate, and elevate. And I want to give kudos to her tonight because you're bringing a platform every week that is just phenomenal. It's life changing. It's not just motivational, it's inspiring, it's life changing, especially during this pandemic. So, Table Talk with the Diva. If you tune into Table Talk, you come to the table, you sit down, you eat, you digest it, you implement what she and her guests teach you, and then you will definitely go higher in your own destiny. So I'm honored to be your coach, and I'm ready just to get it started tonight. I'm so ready. Look, like I told you, I'm representing fathers tonight because, gentlemen, hey, we must be fathers, Fathers, not Farther. Fathers, not Farther. We must be fathers, not father.
Wow. Only you can so much, jazz coach. That is awesome. So please share a little bit about who Keith L. Brown is, Mr. Impossible. A lot of
Well, let me just say, in my life, it hasn't always been I'm possible. There were times when it was impossible. I was labeled special ed most of my life. It was impossible. I was labeled at risk. I grew up in a blended family where sometimes it was impossible. And yes, there was love, but there were times when it was impossible. I grew up with two mothers, two fathers, brothers and sisters on both sides. I've lost a brother to sickle cell anemia, but still standing. I've lost a sister to the AIDS virus, still standing. My lovely wife, Dr. Wakia Brown, and I, we've lost two babies, but we have an awesome 25-year-old son, and his name is Knowledgeable Keon J. Brown. He's a director of policy in the Georgia Senate. He is an entrepreneur as well. He's a graduate of the historically Black HBCU, the Savannah State University, my alma mater. So we're proud. And then in February, we lost one of my dear fathers. Okay. So he went home to be with the Lord. And we've lost over 15, 16, 17 family members during this pandemic, but we are still here. So I want you to know, in spite of all the trials and tribulations that I've faced, I'm still here. And I want your audience to know, your viewers, your listeners to know, you are still here. And so the special ed, Pierre, was the foundation for what I'm doing today. I can remember teachers telling me, Keith L. Brown, you talk too much. And now I get paid to talk nationally and globally. And so, in addition to all of the labeling and the mislabeling, today I'm labeled as king. Today I'm labeled as husband, father, mentor,
awesome.
Coach, trainer, professional speaker, COVID recovery coach, director of external affairs in the Georgia Senate, and just a man of faith. And so I'm an author as well, coach, trainer, travel all over the world, virtually and in person doing this. But at the heart of it all, I'm a servant leader. I'm a servant. With all the titles, I'm a servant. Yes. With all the accolades, I'm a servant. I'm a 2016 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner. That was given to me by 44, not 45. Okay. That was bestowed upon me by 44. President H. Obama. Okay. And so, but with all of that, with all of the accolades, with the degree, with all of that, I am still a servant leader at heart. So I have the nerve to serve. I coined that years ago, have the nerve to serve, and I feed the need to lead. So I'm a servant leader at my very core.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. So many things, major accomplishments. I am just honored. Wow. I don't know if you guys are listening, but I need you to fasten your seatbelts and make sure that you are getting someone on the live. So you are kicking off my season 4 at Table Talk. So I'm excited about that. Season 4. I couldn't think of anyone better to kick off the season than my coach, Mr. Impossible. So we are chatting with fathers all month long. And because you are such an amazing father, not just to Keon, which is number one, but you father so many other men, not just boys, but men. And so I want you to share a little bit about that. And of course, you endured a lot because I just recently, we had a young man that was killed in the park on the southwest side of Atlanta. And you were actually a part of that, not a part of the shooting, but out there mentoring and doing what you do. Can you kind of share a little bit about what you do with fathers and maybe kind of touch into that a little bit?
Absolutely. Well, the program and the platform that I created several years ago, once again, is entitled Fathers Not Father. And we have some principles that go with that. And the principles are: I am a father, Father, not Farther. I will reflect you.
That's right.
I will protect you. I will respect you. I won't neglect you. Once again, I will reflect you. I will protect you. I will respect you, and I won't neglect you. And that was the message I wanted all fathers to give their children, regardless of what's going on with the mother. If you're not together with that mother, if you and that mother got divorced, that's fine. You divorced that woman, but you should not divorce your children. And so I'm bringing fathers, and it started with Head Start. It started with all of the work that I do in Head Start because I was running into a lot of young fathers that were in need of mentorship. They needed assistance and help. And these were good young men that wanted to do the right thing. A lot of times they were just overwhelmed. And so when we started the Fathers Not Father movement, we started it for young fathers, but then it expanded. It expanded to the point that I'm able to coach and train fathers of all ages nationally and globally. And so that's the premise of Fathers Not Father, just bringing fathers closer to their children on a daily basis. And let me point this out. Research shows that Black fathers are the most engaged in the everyday activities of their children's lives. And so I have to throw that out. So when the narrative is that Black men are not present, that's not true. When the narrative is Black fathers don't care, that's not true. When the narrative says that we are absent, that's not true. We have to understand that the narrative is being shaped and formed by individuals that might not necessarily have the best interests of Black fathers in mind. So I want to say, look, Black fathers matter. Black fatherhood matters. Fatherhood matters. And so in doing this, we're able to spread out. And I'm in several mentorship organizations, the South Fulton Arrow Youth Council. I'm a mentor there, the National Lighthouse Foundation, the Omega Mentoring Group, okay? And also the Kings of Kenwood. The Kings of Kenwood Park, where we adopted a park, a core of men, a core of mentors that adopted this park. And all we started doing 11 years ago was mentoring young people, primarily young men of color, where we mentor them. And we don't just play basketball. We play basketball, but we talk to them about life and life skills. So when we had the awful shooting a few weeks ago, I happened to be in the park on that day, and I left about 2 p.m. and the shooting occurred a few hours later. And it was a very sad time in the community. But here was my message to the media. My message to the media was, we as men are going to have to escalate our efforts to mentor our young people,
Absolutely.
to love our young people, to nurture our young people. We can't have the attitude that that wasn't my child or that wasn't my family, because they all belong to us. And the village has to be a village again. And men have to be men again. And we have to step up and step out and go forth. And so that's what my mentorship is all about. Once again, have the nerve to serve, feed the need to lead. And guess what? Show these young people that Black men exist. And Black men exist to love you, to nurture you, like I said, to reflect you, to protect you, to respect you, and not neglect you. Fathers, not father.
Powerful. Wow, you leave speechless, speechless when you, and that is powerful. And you do so much. It's like what drives you, what gives you the drive that you have. And I understand when you mentioned about being labeled special ed as a child. What was it? Was it the was it any shame connected? Was it what to just what made you drive to just go and do the things that you're doing? I mean, because it's completely like backwards when I think about it, for someone to have been labeled special ed and not only to mention you, when I think about you and Les Brown, which
Yes.
coach of yours, your coach as well, y'all have similar backgrounds. It's amazing how God has strategically, how he divinely aligned each one of us with our coaches and our trainers. And just knowing how you have similar backgrounds and blended families and everything, it blows my mind. But what was it that got you on your passion for just helping men or just people overall? Because you help us, I'm a woman. So what
Listen, I can remember during my childhood, I was always the life of the party. I remember when the family members would come over, I would be speaking. I had some siblings that would say, sit down, you showing off and things of that nature. But I was so loud. And, I was that one. It makes me laugh because I think about like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. And when the late, great Richard Pryor, and when they talk about at those family gatherings, they were up telling jokes. Well, at the family gatherings, I was up speaking. I was always up speaking and talking because that was my gift. And I want to say to those parents out there, when you have those little children, those little boys and girls, and they're up speaking, don't shut them down. Don't shut them down. Allow them to talk because that might be the gift that God placed on the inside of them. And so I've always been like this. I've always been one who wanted to speak life into the masses, even as a small child. And I remember being in special ed. I remember being in a class of 25, 35, and then they would come and take me out and I would be in a class of 5. And it was at that point I learned that I was small and I was Black and I was different. And here in America, there are a lot of Black boys that are learning they're small and they're Black and they're different. But I did have those teachers and counselors who empowered me. My beautiful mother, who's a lifelong educator, she's now retired. She's battling Alzheimer's disease, as you know. And my wife and my family and my little sister and her family, her lovely family, we are co-caretakers of my beautiful mom as she battles, Alzheimer's. And she might be losing her mental capacity and facilities, but her heart is in the right place. Her spirit is in the right place. And so those are the things that keep me going, understanding that there was a time when mama used to tuck us into bed, and now we tuck mama into bed. There was a time when mama used to tell us bedtime stories. Now we tell her bedtime stories. There was a time when mama used to bathe us, and now we have to bathe mama. And so do understand that that's what drives me. That is my passion. I'm so passionate about our young people excelling and doing well in a world that often leaves them oppressed, suppressed, repressed, and depressed. I am so passionate about speaking life into Black men, letting them know that you are kings. You are not the negative stereotypes or the negative labels. I'm so passionate about building them up, just to the point that Black man, can you just smile? My brother, can you smile? Father, can you smile? Because we have been made to wear this hard exterior. Okay. Anytime I get a chance to communicate with your king, Brother Collins, I'm always in awe of his energy and his enthusiasm. And that's what we have to have between Black men: enthusiasm and energy and love, not this hardcore exterior that society puts on us that defines manhood in the wrong way. And so I'm passionate about bringing solutions. When you ask me, what am I passionate about? When I look at the word passionate or passion, it's really pass I on, PASS dash I dash on, pass I on. What are you passing I on every day? And that's what I love to do. So I'm driven by the mere fact that I know that there's more to life than what this society is giving us. And so I'm passionate. I'm passionate about my purpose, my calling, how I came out of being at risk to taking risks, to being a menace to society, to now dwell amongst men who will ace society. So I'm driven, I'm passionate, and I would not do anything else. This is what I've been called to do. And when you know you've been called to do something, you answer, you step up and you answer. And so I'm passionate and I'm driven about bringing solutions and helping others reach their destiny and their purpose.
That is so. There's no question you would do this without being paid.
Look. Let me tell you this, my prized pupil and woman of vision. I love what I do so much that I would do it for free, but I attempt to do it so well that they pay me for it. Yes, that's it.
Love it. I love it. Well, it shows Mr. Impossible. It definitely shows. Oh my God, I'm just so impressed. And I tell you, when I first had the opportunity to meet you, after I saw you in action, I was blown away. I was blown away. We were invited to a graduation, and you were, of course, the keynote speaker.
Yes.
Turned it up. So, child, it was a party. I mean, and you involved everyone. We were just there. We were there, invited, but it's like, oh my God, who is this? And so
Wow.
I took the picture at the end of the event, and I posted, and my daughter called and said, Mommy, how do you know Mr. Impossible? And I said, well, I just met him. I said, he was at a graduation and keynote speaker. I said, blew me away. I said, your dad and I was rolling. I said, this man is off the chain. She said, oh my gosh. She said, he came to South Carolina State and I saw him there and he's been to Georgia Southern. And I'm thinking like, well, damn, why am I just here and finding out about Mr. Impossible?
Yes.
Mommy, everybody knows Mr. Impossible. And so I just did my research and I started YouTube and Googling you. And it's like, the more and more and more information and accolades kept popping up. I was like, okay, Lord, I need this man in my life. I need him as my coach. And it just went from there and grew from there. And you have been the same from that day I met you until this day, which was a few years ago. And I am so, so elated just to be in the cohort. It has just strengthened me in so many ways that I can't even express at times. And I'm just saying, Lord, I'm so grateful for that. So when I say it because I truly mean it, not because I'm just trying to rub elbows, but because I see the growth, what being connected to you and how I follow what you instruct and how you guide us. So it helps. And I'm so honored. But I tell you, if anyone out there, listeners, on the viewers, if you are looking for a coach, I promise you, I am also a coach, but I'm just telling you where I'm getting in the training from. So I have him here on the platform. You might need to reach out if you are looking for a strong male coach. This is the man. You are the man. But definitely, it was something else I wanted to say. But I had to get that out. Just saying how we even became connected.
Yes.
Because a lot of people say, well, they do this, do that. There's no evidence of what they do. There's evidence. You can Google, you can YouTube, you can check him out in full action. And so your Instagram pages is always lit.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And, I want to say I appreciate you because you cannot be a great coach if you don't have great prized pupils who are coachable. And you take my advice and you are coachable. And whatever I ask you to implement, you implement that. And so I believe at the end of the day, you can have motivation, you can have inspiration, you can have education, transformation, and restoration. But if you don't have any implementation, nothing is going to work. And so here at the Impossible Institute, where you are definitely a valued member of our cohort, at the Impossible Institute, we help individuals expand their impact, their influence, and their income. And there are a lot of coaches out there, and I love them and I give them their props. But I'm one who believes I don't have to basically tell you all of my accolades. I can show you. I hear individuals around here talking about, well, I make this amount, I make that amount, and I've done this and I've done that. Listen, the proof is in the pudding. Yes. With Keith L. Brown, Mr. Impossible. I'm not here to impress you, but to impress upon you how great you can be as your coach, as your trainer. I'm here to build you, enhance you, and enlighten you. And we do that. We do that through mastermind classes. We do that through one-on-one coaching and training. And you're always enthused. And I have to give you your props because you are visually impaired, but you still have vision. You are hearing impaired, but you still listen to the voice that's on the inside of you that tells you to have this talk show called Table Talk. And so I'm all about taking individuals from impossible to it's possible to I'm possible, from impossible to it's possible to I'm possible. And see, this is the reality. When they tell you impossible, whether I'm talking to thousands of fathers, or if I'm speaking at a women's empowerment seminar, if I'm speaking at a school, college, university, family advocacy agency, or faith-based institution, government agency, the private sector, or corporate America, in the entertainment industry, I let people know when you hear the word impossible, it's very small. It's very small, but it has a large impact on your life. So don't focus on the impossible. Get in a place where you can focus on going from impossible to it's possible. Surround yourself with people who affect your life and stay away from people who infect your life. And so we start right there with that impossible, because I was told it was impossible. And then when I hooked up with that man called Les Brown, and Les Brown said, Keith, it's possible. And I was labeled special ed, and Les was labeled educable, mentally retarded, but we both brought the same energy and enthusiasm and empowerment to the stage. And, you know, Les talks a lot about it's possible, your dreams, it's possible, your goals, it's possible. And being one who was coached by Les Brown, I said, you know what? I can't stay at the it's possible. I love my coach, who is now my colleague, Mr. Les Brown, but he encouraged us to go even further. And so what I did was I created what we call the I'm possible. And the I'm possible. See, the it's possible is good because it says it should happen, it may happen, it can happen. But when I go a little deeper and I say I'm possible, then guess what? I am held accountable for my goals. I'm now responsible for going to the next level. And I'm here today to tell you, a lot of times people don't want to embrace the I'm possible because it causes you to be accountable. But if you would just write that word down, impossible, and you would put in apostrophe, a little thing, Pierre, if your listening audience tonight would just put an apostrophe between the I and the M, then impossible would be I'm possible. And you know what I believe? What our good friend Connie Judge told me at the National Trichology Training Institute. With him possible, I'm possible. And so that's what we must do. That's what I do with thousands and hundreds of thousands across the globe. And I must give a shout out to my publicist, Adrienne Alexander Allen. She is phenomenal. And that's the IPY agency that represents me. And listen, she makes certain that my brand is all over the world. And when she does that, I do what I have to do. I do the work. And guess what? We go globally. But as a coach and trainer, my mission is to expand your mission. My mission is to enhance your mission. I don't have to tell you about the cars I drive or the home that I live in or the land that I have or where I vacation. That's not important to your family. That's not important to building legacy. I want to coach and train individuals to maximize their impact, their influence, and their income, and go from impossible to it's possible to I'm possible.
You heard it. Talk with the Diva. Told you amazing. So let's talk about some very important keys, I guess, for a new father. Maybe someone that's becoming a father, he's just new at this new journey in his life as a father. What are some keys you could kind of share with fathers this evening?
Absolutely. Well, the first key I would share is get you a mentor or an example. Don't just get a man who has children because he might not necessarily be a good example of a father. And so I want these young fathers or older fathers, if you're a father for the first time, listen, get an example, a mentor, someone who can talk to you and give you positive insight on what it looks like. You see, and I can do that tonight, because I still kiss my son on the cheek. My son's 25 years old, but I still kiss my son on the cheek. I still tell him I love you every day. And for those new fathers, guess what? Whisper in that baby's ear that I love you every day. I affirm my son every day. And when I'm angry and when I'm disappointed in him, you understand, I let him know, but I let him know I'm not angry, okay, with you. I'm angry with the behavior that you exhibited. All right. Right now, I love you. I just don't love the negative behavior you exhibited. And so we have to clarify that. So to all those new fathers out there, I would say the first step is to understand you have to get you some mentorship. And that means a man who has been a positive influence for his family. And the next thing is don't buy into the stereotypes. Don't buy into the stereotypes, especially for Black men, because we've been taught what? Real men don't cry. Listen, don't listen to that garbage. That's garbage. And what happens is we've been told real men don't cry. And so many men So many men are incarcerated because they kept their feelings on the inside and then they lashed out in a negative, violent way. So I want you to know that has paralyzed so many Black men and men of color in so many communities nationally and globally. Real men do cry. That's the next thing I would tell fathers. Real men do cry. When you see your baby crawling, you're going to cry. When you see that baby taking the first step, you're going to cry. When that baby is hurt, you're going to cry. When you understand? So real men do cry. When we tell our boys, and never tell your boys that they should not cry, because then you're dehumanizing them. And to dehumanize means to turn humans into animals, and they're not animals, they're human beings. And so that's number two. Real men cry. Number three, your spirit has to be greater than your sperm. Boom. Let me say that again. Your spirit has to be greater than your sperm. I'm going to say it again. Your spirit has to be greater than your sperm. Your sperm help produce the child, but your spirit will nurture the child. Your sperm is what happened in the biological process to create the child, but your spirit, that which you place inside the child. See, you place your sperm inside of the mother and hence grew the child, birthed the child. But what you place into the child has to be your spirit. And your spirit is that which will raise that child, nurture that child, love that child, and many times can be the deciding factor between that child's success and significance or failure. So don't focus on your sperm, focus on your spirit. And it doesn't matter if you're a biological father or a bonus father or an adoptive father or a surrogate father or just a family member raising that child or those children. Guess what? At the end of the day, your spirit has to be greater than your sperm. I would say that. I would say that to those new fathers out there. And at the end of the day, be loving. Be loving every day. You don't have to be hardcore. We've been sold that narrative for so many years, especially as Black fathers. You got to be hardcore. No, I'm a protector, but I don't have to be hardcore. My children need to see me smile. My child needs to see me smile. Okay, fathers, if you're with the mother, they need to see you loving on that mother. Do you understand? They need to see that affection in a positive way. And so that's what I would tell those young fathers. And I would also say, listen, as Black men, when you need therapy, get you some therapy. My son and I have sat on the same couch with the same therapist. I've cried on his shoulder. He's cried on mine. So yes, we are men of faith. We pray. We are believers. But guess what? We have a therapist as well, because God gave the therapist his or her gift as well. So when you need help, go get help. You're not crazy when you get help. You're crazy when you do not.
Oh, that's real. Because you're right, for so many years that has been the stigma that, and even African American men and women, we don't go get counseling, and oh, you're not crazy. That's crazy. So they do that. Well, who's they? As you said,
Yes.
crazy not to help. No, that's not crazy to get it, but it's crazy not to get it when you know you need it. Definitely. So I really, really admire you for bringing that forth, and especially about the crying part, because I can remember growing up and hearing, not my brothers but guys, but my dad would always say that. My dad's lived to be 86 and a half years of age.
Amen. Amen.
Definitely. He said, I've seen my dad cry on several occasions, and he was like, man, I'm a real man. Yeah, I cried.
Yes.
I hurt, I bleed like you, I cry like you. But definitely real men cry. So thanks for saying that, because a lot of guys didn't, think that that's true. And they really need to hear that, and they need to see it. And so, as you said, even with your son, you kiss him and you give affection. They have this thing, oh, well, I'm not a little boy anymore, dad. My daddy don't hug on me. We dab. It's okay to dab, but it's okay to give a hug as well. And like you said, you kiss on your son as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to also point this out. I have a group of men that I can cry with. I have a core group of men that I can pray with, and they build me up, and they don't make me feel soft, or they don't make me feel worthless. And so to those new fathers in particular, and fathers in general, make certain that you surround yourself with kings who are nurturing, who are loving, with kings who are what I call who have this word right here, compassion. You see that? They have to have compassion. You need to be hanging around men who have some compassion. So yes, we can watch the basketball and football games together. We can hang out in the barbershop together. We can hang in the park together. We can do those things. But at the end of the day, the men who I surround myself with, these are men of faith. Okay. And I'm talking about different faiths. I'm not just talking about all of them are Christians or Christ-like. I'm talking about men of different faiths, but we love each other. We love on each other. We support each other. We build each other up so that we can go home and then build our families up. I think that's very important for all men, that the company you keep is going to be so essential, not only in your growth, but what you are depositing into your family. So at the end of the day, there might be some people you hanging out with that might not be good in the presence of your family or in the presence of your children. All of my friends I can bring around my son and feel comfortable. I can bring them around my family, my wife, and feel comfortable. Do you understand? And so that's very important, that we surround ourselves with men of purpose and men of excellence. And if they haven't found their purpose, we need to then mentor them and help them to reach their purpose. And when you do that, you're going to live a much more fulfilling life.
That is amazing and very true. You got to go straight to it. I love it. So for what would be an age, I guess, for a man to maybe really, really start seeking a mentorship? I mean, and I know they do, it's good for a teenager, but when you're out on your own, after leaving home, I would say, because a lot of times they say, my brothers they used to say this because they're grown men, good men. But I would just hear them say, how do they say it? They got to go out and sow their oats. But as far as, let them live their life, there's this stereotype thing that was to let them live their life and just let the man be a man. And I'm going, well, what do you mean let him be a man? But it's okay to get, like you said, counseling or mentor or coach or whatever level that is needed. But I guess I don't have godsons, but I always say, even for Devin right now, Devin, 8.5 years old, it's important that G Daddy is in his life.
Absolutely. We need mentorship at all ages and in all different levels in our lives. We have to have someone there who can help us grow, help us to learn. Different phases in our lives, whether you're the 8-year-old in elementary school or the 13-year-old or in middle school, the 16-year-old in high school, or the 26-year-old who's now out of college or the military or in the workforce. Or you might be 50 some odd years old, like I'm 52, but I'm still lit. Yo, don't let it. Hey, I'm still look. Hey, I see you too kicking that red bottom. Don't think I don't see that red bottom. You kicking that red bottom because you know what? We kick that red bottom because we red carpet people. You understand? So I don't wear red bottom shoes. So I wore a red bottom hat because I'm in the presence of a diva who is a red carpet quintessential queen. So that's why I wore my red bottom hat tonight. So listen, mentorship. Mentorship, it's all the time. Listen, you have to have a mentor at all stages in your life because you can't do it by yourself. And so you always need that other man in your life. Someone who can help support you and grow, but not just support your bad habits, And we have to teach our young people, back in the day with our young men, sowing your oats, going out there, sleeping with as many women as you can. I've been there, done that. And at this point, it was never fulfilling, though. That's the thing. It wasn't fulfilling. And, the beautiful part about it, and I thank God, because when Irvin Magic Johnson made his announcement in the early 90s, there were some friends of mine, and, I believe I was in grad school at the time at Georgia Southern University, having graduated with honors from Savannah State University, right? And I was at Georgia Southern in grad school. I remember being in the barbershop when the announcement came on, and I remember immediately, within the next couple of days, me and a group of friends, we went to the Red Cross to give blood, and people were applaud me. Yes, y'all go ahead and give it up because I gave blood to the Red Cross to help others, but I was really giving blood to make sure I was not HIV positive. And I was not. Yes, and I was not. And so I'm being very transparent. And I'm being transparent from the standpoint, young men, if you can wait, then wait. Okay. All right. Think with the, if you can wait, wait. It does not make you less of a man. If you're a virgin, it does not make you less of a man. If you don't want to go run around with different women, it does not make you less of a man. And so we have marked our boys. And I'm going to say this, we have marked our boys' manhood by the number of women they can be with instead of the number of classes they can pass. We have marked our men, young men and our men by the number of women they can sleep with versus the number of businesses they can own. Or you understand? See, this is what I'm talking about. We have focused on the wrong gift for so long, but you know what? Many times in our communities, we've been doing things wrong for so long, they've become traditionally right. I'm here to break the tradition tonight. I'm here to be the interruption in the bloodline tonight. I remember getting my first report card at the Savannah State University, and there was a man in my family, and he did not ask me what my report card looked like. He asked me how many women was I sleeping with on campus. And so, when you get those types of messages that promote your manhood only in the physical, then why should our young men think? Why should our young men be spiritual? Why should they be excellent when their value is based on the number of women they sleep with? So I have a message for all of the young men out there that are watching, the men, the women, the young women. I have a message for them tonight, and I'm going to keep it real. If your greatest asset is between your thighs and not between your ears, then you are a liability.
My God.
Let me say it again. If your greatest asset is between your thighs and not between your ears, then you are a liability. Your greatest asset should not be the organs that God placed on your body, young men or young women. Your greatest asset is your mind. Your greatest asset is your mind. And so do understand that on Table Talk, you're going to get real talk with a real message that's going to help you grow and be empowered. And that's what it's about. I knew back in the day that with all that I did, it wasn't right. I wasn't a smoker. I wasn't a drinker. But, yes, I was out there on that physical tip, chasing all the women I could. But that did not fortify me, nor did it walk me into my purpose on today. And so I would just say, instead of just going out there running around sowing your wild oats, you better sit down and eat some oatmeal and get your purpose in order. You understand? I'm just going to tell you, young men out there, young man, take your time, young man. Take your time. And can I say this too? May I say this?
Please say.
For all my nephews out there, because they're young men, they call me Unc. They call me Uncle on Instagram, Keith L. Brown _ Yeah. You get auntie, right? So I love it. They call me Unc. Keith L. Brown _ on Instagram. That's where they follow me, Keith L. Brown _ on Instagram. And I'm talking to them, and I'm talking to the young men, and I'm talking to the young women. And I want to say this to the young men. If you are in a relationship with a young lady who makes you feel like you have to spend a lot of money all the time and you don't have that money, guess what? You need to be in another relationship. You need to be in another relationship because your value should not be based upon how much money you can spend on an individual. Your love should not be able to be purchased like that. And so I want those young men to know that. I need to talk to the young men as well, because a lot of times our young men get caught up watching the men making it rain. You're going to make it rain, right? Understand? I'm like, nah, I ain't making it rain. I'll make it drizzle, but I couldn't make it rain back in the day. If you were looking to date somebody to make it rain, you weren't dating Keith L. Brown, because I couldn't make it rain. I made it drizzle, but thank God he brought me a queen who didn't care about me making it rain. She cared about God reigning over our lives, the REIGN. Okay, reign. Okay, not the RAIN. So to those young men out there, man, save your money. If you're dating, date someone who values you for you and not what you can do for her, not how much money you can spend, not the vehicle you have. She should want you because you have some drive. You are a young man of substance. You are a young man of faith. You are a young man who will respect her. And to those young ladies out there, let me tell you, if he beat you upside your head, that does not mean he loves you. If he is buying you things, okay, over and over again, yeah, I'm going to be real tonight. If young ladies, if he's just buying you over and over and over again, guess what? He might be positioning himself to own you. He might see you as property. So you better be very careful. That's why I talk to young men and young women about being independent. being independent. And the last thing I want to say is this. I heard a great pastor one time say this to women: if he's good enough to sweat on you, then he's good enough to sweat for you. If he's good enough to sweat on you, then he's good enough to sweat for you, meaning, you know what that means. He should be working. So we should all be working together, respecting each other, loving on each other.
That's right. That's it. That's real.
I hate to go on a tangent like this, but I'm a father. I'm a FATHER. And I have to look out for my sons and my daughters, my nieces and my nephews on a universal collective basis. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well, you are where you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. And on this platform, we keep it real. So I appreciate it so very much. This is so good. Oh my God. We can do this all over again. I'm loving it.
Praise God.
You kicking it off and you're doing it right. So those young men that are coming next week, I'm excited. And so there is a few of them that are in the cohorts that are we are partners.
Yes.
In our training with you, and so I'm excited for them. So they're watching. A few of them definitely was going to get on to watch Coach kick it off. I told him, I said, y'all better be ready to bring the fire because you already know he coming to take over.
Oh yeah, well listen, they're amazing, man. Those young men, those gentlemen in the cohort, you know, I don't want to shout them out now because I don't want to give it away, right? I don't want to give it away, but they are just phenomenal, and that's what we have. It's so many beautiful, brilliant, bold Black men out there that have just been beat down.
That's right.
And they don't know their worth and their value, and that's why mentorship matters on all levels, because you have grown men like myself walking around in their 50s and 60s, but they're still living like little boys because that little boy on the inside of them is so beat down. And, you know, they were told they would never amount to anything. And, you know, then they surround themselves with other men who are not fortifying and building them up. And then they surround themselves around others who are not fortifying them and building them up. So we need mentorship, and we deserve mentorship at all levels of our lives. I mean, you should not be 40 some years old walking around with your pants sagging. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just being real now. It's a lot. It's a lot because, you know, when people ask me, well, what's the difference between a man and a male? Well, you were born male. You can't do nothing about that. But manhood is a choice. You were born male, but manhood is a choice. And at the end of the day, I'm nowhere near perfect. I have a shirt, you know, it says what? Flawed and favored. I'm flawed. I make mistakes. I'm not all that I should be, but I'm not what I used to be. And I'm getting better every day, but I'm flawed. I'm flawed and favored, not flawed but favored, flawed and favored, because they go hand in hand. But I'm getting better every day, and I'm walking in my purpose.
That's it. I agree. Same thing on my call that I've started, Awaken Destiny. That's I said, we are flawed, we are favored, we're beautiful, and yes, we are forgiven. So
yes,
we're not perfect. Make mistakes, but the difference is we are trying and you're progressing to grow. You want to grow. You know the difference, and not being stuck where you were and not wanting to do anything about it. You see needing to change, but not willing to make the effort to do that. So that is important. Flawed and favored. I receive it. Well, this has been amazing, Coach. Definitely, if you would shout out your social media handles again, because I know you have a few.
Yes, I will do that. My Instagram is Keith L. Brown _ KEITH Brown _ Definitely follow me if you desire to be empowered and inspired. Keith L. Brown _ on Instagram. Keith L. Brown, Mr. I'm Possible. I am possible on Facebook. Keith L. Brown 1911 on Twitter. My YouTube channel is Keith L. Brown 1911. We are rebranding the YouTube channel. And of course, my website is keithlbrown.com. But I would love for you to follow me. But I will say this: don't follow individuals who are not worth being followed. If I am worth being followed, you follow me, and I would love to be able to pour into your life as well, as a speaker, a trainer, a coach, a consultant, a political consultant, whatever you need. God has given me a wide array of gifts, and I use them all to give him all the praise, to give him all the glory. And I do that every day. So it's not impossible, it's impossible. And I just want to shout out all those fathers to say happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. You know how the mothers are. You know we love the mothers. Shout out to all the mothers, Pierre. You know, I love my wife. I love my mother. I love all the mothers. I got my two mothers. I love them. Mamas get everything on Mother's Day. Man, mamas get everything. Father's Day is like 1 hour. You understand? Father's Day is like, so men, look, I'm wishing y'all a happy Father's Day. I'm saying every day in June, get up. Men, when your feet hit the floor, you need to start clapping because it might be the only standing ovation you received today at that day. And so fathers, if you need therapy, you need help, go talk to somebody. That will only make you a better husband, a better father, a better man, whatever. Do that, just do that. So I'm just so honored to have been on your platform tonight because it's not a show, it's a platform. There are moments being turned into movements here, and I'm just honored to be with the diva with the destiny chasing after you. Yes, I'm honored.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. This has been really, really amazing. I am so humbled. Again, thank you for it. And I pray you guys are sharing and tagging this platform because this has been such a powerful, very enlightening, very educational beginning season. This is a kickoff, so you don't want to miss it. It's going to continue to climax to the next level. So we are excited about Coach Keith L. Brown. You are amazing man of God, and we just love you. My husband and I love you. He is so happy that I've connected. I am in the cohort. I am so a part of the I'm Possible Institute. I'm so grateful for that. So thank you so much for your time. And so we're going to wrap it up. But thank you, everyone, for joining Table Talk with the Diva. And I need to definitely share, tag, and get someone on this next week. You can watch it over and over again. We are excited for you to be on the show. So thank you so much. And if you have lost my train of thought. If you have a powerful platform that you'd like to share, like to enlighten another woman or man, please DM me, direct message me. I would be happy to speak with you, to have you on the platform. But we are looking for influencers that are promoting positivity. And so I am Piera Collins, the Diva with a Destiny, that is always excited and delighted to be at the living room and your living room, your dining room, your table with you on Thursday. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. And peace for now. I'm chasing after you. Have a great night. Thank you, Coach.
Table Talk with the Diva.
I love it. I love that.
Yes.
Join in, it might free up. Hey. And if you feel it down, come in. The enemy is trapped, won't win.
Hey.
Oh.
But God is giving you vision. You shall win.
All right.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much, Coach. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much. I hope I didn't talk too much.
No, sir, you did an amazing job as always. How do I end this? Let me make sure. Thank you. It's been amazing.
You're amazing. Thank you. I'm honored.
You have a great night and say hello to your beautiful family.
And you do likewise. You be empowered.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good night.